Alright, welcome back to another wand making video. Trying to get a few more videos done for you for starting the new year. And this one I am going to do a two-piece wand. And this is going to be Bloodwood and Purple Heart. And we're going to do Purple Heart for the handle and then Bloodwood for the blade of the wand. And you might have noticed we've got a new little logo on the bottom right hand corner, Knox Hollow, and that's the brand I'm going with now for the wands. And all our Knox Hollow wands are available at our Etsy shop, nemesisgear.etsy.com. So make sure you swing by and see what we've got in stock. I've got this one's in process, and I just finished it today, and it was really cold out today. When I got up this morning, it was negative 20, negative 18. It was really cold. And it was not a whole lot warmer when I got up there to finish this one today. But I did brave the workshop to get finish this up and get some photos of this. Right now, all I've done is the blade of the wand is pretty straightforward. I've done on most of my other videos. You can kind of see how I turn that down. And then this is going to be the handle. And what I'm doing for these is a little bit different. I'm actually going to glue this together. And so what I've done is I'm doing my steady rest here so that I can get a tenon board out in the middle of this, and then on the blade I'm going to put a tenon on this, and it's going to get glued in to the handle. So it's a little bit different than I've done in the past on some of my wands, but that's going to be a much more secure connection. And now I'm just going back to the rest of the blade of the wand here, and it's pretty straightforward. Again, I'm just going to turn this down to generally the right size, and then once I have that done, I'm feeding it into the chuck. And now what I need to do is get this nice and centered and smooth, and I'm going to put that little tenon on this to match the size of the hole that I've drilled in the handle, and then we'll get that glued together. So the last video I did last week, everybody seems to really like spiral stuff. So maybe I'll do some spiral stuff again in the future. If you enjoyed that, make sure you let me know what kinds of things you want to see. So what I did is I measured my calipers there are set to the same size as the drill bit that I used to drill out that hole. Actually, just a teeny bit bigger. So I don't want it to be too wobbly. So if I bring it a little bit bigger, and then I'll use the sandpaper to kind of just slowly bring that down to the right size. And you'll see me do a fit for it here. It's just a little bit snug. So you can take off a little more, but you can't add it back on. So kind of important to work these really slow when you do it this way. And nice snug fit there. That's great. And I have to be really careful here because that tenon's really thin, and putting too much pressure on that and I'll split that wood right out. So, but I've got ahead and double checking the fit, and everything seems to be good. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and finish generally roughing in the shape of this now. And I'm just doing, it's kind of a teardroppy shape right here at the right where the blade meets the guard. So we'll get that kind of roughed in here, and then a whole bunch of sanding. I do most of my sanding just right here on this end. The towards the point gets done because I taper it on the belt sander and stuff like that. But right there at the joint, I go ahead and work that together with sandpaper as best I can. Now what I've got done off camera here, basically all I did was just put some glue on that and then put it in the chuck and tightened it up to dry overnight. So this is glued together here. And now I'm marking out where the wand handle is going to be. And so I did the blade mostly first. I did a little bit of shaping on the handle right where the blade and the guard go together, so that those kind of marry together in a nice fit. And now I'm just going to do some shaping on the Purple Heart and taking off the excess here at the base that I know I'm not going to need. And then we'll just continue to refine that shape in. But this is a little bit of an unusual way that I did this. Typically, I turn these two pieces separately and then glue them together, but I was trying something different with this and see if I could keep it as centered as possible so that I could glue them together and then finish the handle like as though it was one piece, like I do the regular wands. And it didn't really save any time, and it's kind of hard to get it perfectly centered when you put those two pieces together. There seems to be usually a little, this one was actually really straight, but it's so hard to do it without being just a little bit of a wobble. So I'm going to go ahead, once I get past about a 300 grit, I'll go ahead and put those wire burns in where I plan on it. But if you do that before you get to those fine grits, then typically you end up sanding most of it back out and you have to put them back in anyways. So now I'm just going to work this down so that I can get this tailstock parted off and kind of refine the shape of the pommel here. And there you go. And once that's done, we'll just refine that just a little bit with some sandpaper and get it smoothed up. And now I've got something a little bit different here. I'm going to do some wood burning on this handle. And I don't think that y'all have seen this. What I did is I 3D designed a 3D piece there that slides onto my my rest, and then I also designed a indexing wheel that clamps on right there on the lathe on the drive, and it's got holes all spaced out in different spacing. So 8 holes, 5 holes. And right now what I'm doing is setting this up so I can turn it, and I'm able to run that pencil horizontally and get 8 evenly spaced lines that run the length of the handle. And then those little notches on the rest are set at a 1/4 inch apart so that I can get 1/4 inch spacings on around the circular of the handle. So basically it's a little bit faster way for me to make a grid out, draw that grid out on the handle. So whenever I'm doing designs, whether they're spirals, or in this case, I'm doing mostly lines that run the length. And I do kind of do some special design work and some angle design work as well. And I started with kind of a sharp point there just to kind of get in close to those rounded areas, and then I switched over to a little bit wider point on this wood burner, and that allows me to get some straighter lines in there. And so I'm just kind of working this design in here how I like it. And now I think this is where we put in some sort of angular designs, and we're going to connect those up. So once this gets wood burned, then what I'll do is just kind of brush it out with my brass brush, and then we'll finish our sanding up and stuff. So you can see this is kind of a special handle here on this. And I do this when I do these 2-part wands. I've got them listed as necromancer wands. Just I thought it would, the original one that I did this way was really neat. It kind of had a handle that looked like a carved bone, and so it just kind of stuck. But now when I do these different color or different kind of wood, than the blade, then I've just been calling them all necromancer wands just because of the Etsy listing is easier that way. And I am heating up this Purple Heart. I don't have the torch really close. It's getting hot to bring that purple out, but because I want to darken it up, but it's not quite burning it. It's just getting close. And this particular batch of Purple Heart turned out like when you do the heating on it, it does turn very dark. So in most of these pictures, it does look almost black, but it is just a really really dark purple. And I'm just using some denatured alcohol to kind of clean that off now. And this is just right after the oil. I did the linseed oil on this, so you get a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like. And I did facet the tip on this as well, so it's got kind of a triangular faceted tip. Not too sharp because, we don't want to be, we're not staking vampires with it. And then here's the final photos that I've got on that, as you can see. And yeah, it turned out, pretty good. I think the Bloodwood looks a little bit on the orange side than red, but it looks similar to Paduk. It's a little bit more red than Paduk is usually. But yeah, it turned out nice with the Purple Heart, especially that really dark purple. I really like having the two different colors there. So, but anyways, I will be getting this up on my Etsy shop soon. I've got one more wand in process right now that I'm also doing a video for, and I might do kind of a carved spiral into the blade, a little bit different than I normally do. Well, maybe I'll use a Dremel. I don't know, I hadn't decided on that, but we'll get that video up pretty soon. And once I have those photos and stuff taken, then I'll list them both on the Etsy listing at the same time, just so I have multiple options there for you to choose from. But anyways, I hope you like this. Make sure you give me a thumbs up; it really does help. And be sure to subscribe to see some more wand making videos, and also the occasional leatherworking tips and tricks and product demos, and who knows what else. I just keep making stuff. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.